What's going on, everybody? I'm Selna Kim, America's face of dating, and today we're going to be talking about from depressed teenager to my dream relationship. As you can see here, we're going to be doing a unique one today, just kind of breaking down my before and after, right? My before and then what's currently going on in my life. And the reason that you need to know this stuff is because if you really want to attract quality, something has to change, right? And my before, I didn't really know what needed to be changed. I didn't know what I didn't know, and that caused me a lot of problems back in the day. And especially back in the day, like from where I went to where I am now, where, we're a best-selling author, we're doing very well. We have my dream relationship. Something had to change for me to actually acquire all those things from where I started and where I was. But before, this is where I was before, is that I had a lot of trauma from my parents' divorce. This picture right here was me back in 2018 and 2019. As you can see, this was an Instagram story I made for you guys, kind of showing where I was. I had this long hair, kind of covered my eyes sometimes, kind of like an emo kid, right? And you know what, if you don't cringe sometimes looking back on like who you were, like, did you really make progress? You know what I mean? Like, you should cringe on some of the stuff that you're looking at to show that you actually made progress, right? But me back in 2018, 2019, girls were pulling away, only had like $2,000 in my bank account, major self-esteem issues and addictions. And as you can see right here, had a lot of trauma from my parents' divorce right here. Had a lot of trauma from that. When we were growing up, if you haven't read my best-selling book yet, I talk about this, but if you guys haven't read this, you got to dive into this book, especially if you've been watching my channel for a while. I don't know why you haven't if you haven't been in that book yet. But I talk about this, and especially if you really want to make some major strides on your dating life and you don't know where to start, just at least start with the book. But I had a lot of trauma from my parents' divorce growing up. They went through a really, really rough divorce. Cops were showing up to our house like multiple times per week. And we lived in a neighborhood where we were doing all right at the time. And we lived in a neighborhood where the kids in my neighborhood went to my school. And when they saw that the cops were coming to our house twice a week, or 3 times a week, and then they found out, because the divorce got so bad, me and my brother actually had to go be put in a shelter for a little while, and I had no idea what was going on. I was only like 6 or 10 or however old I was, man. This was a long time ago. But a lot of stuff was going down that caused a lot of trauma to happen. And so I went from having a lot of friends to having no friends because the families were like, don't involve yourself with that kid. That kid's parents and family's fucked up. Like, there's cops at their house. They live in a shelter now. Like, don't talk to those kids. And so slowly, one at a time, I'd be sitting at my lunch table, and just slowly, one at a time, kids were just leaving my lunch table, right? And eventually, I just got to a point where I was just all alone at the lunch table and trying to desperately cling to whatever attention I could even get. For example, like right here, rejected by my dream girl. I remember the first girl that I ever really got attention to, she was this soccer player girl, and I chased her. I pursued her for like 3 years of my life. And she became like this varsity soccer player as a freshman at my high school, which was like completely unheard of. But I was chasing her for multiple years before that, middle school, and a little bit even before that. But I remember she gave me her Facebook, and I was like, wow, this is like the first girl that really ever gave me attention. And so I clung to it because I was so isolated growing up, sitting at a lunch table alone for multiple years in a row, and having all my friends literally leave me gave me this fear that I just wasn't good enough and that people were going to leave me in general. And I needed to just desperately cling to whatever attention I could get because I obviously don't deserve it. I don't have much. I never have had much, so I'm never going to deserve it. And so it really caused this trauma to occur in my mind that everyone was just going to leave me eventually. And so I chased this girl for like 3 years of my life, was asking her on Facebook to be my girlfriend, bought the soccer ball for her, I remember, and asked her out in front of like the entire school, and just got like absolutely embarrassed for like multiple years of my life. Just went back to bullying like all over again, right? Bullied a lot growing up just because people were like, as you can see below, broke and poor. Like, after my parents' divorce and my brother and I had to go stay in that shelter, my parents had to file for bankruptcy because that 2007 recession hit, and just finances were just really bad. And so we were actually the poorest kids that were at our school. And I got bullied a lot growing up because of that, because we couldn't afford things like new football cleats or new clothes in general. I remember my mom made this like, it was like a GoFundMe thing for our community, just asking to like donate money so we can like buy some football cleats. I remember no one like donated. And so it was just embarrassing, right? It was just one of those humiliating times in my life, just being that poor and trying to like act like we weren't trying to cover that up. Because I was just embarrassed of it because no one seemed to have the same life that we did growing up. But I got bullied a lot because of that, because I had clothes that were too small, too skinny, right? Too like, I was way too skinny at the time, by the way, too. Speaking of skinny, I was 6'2" and malnourished. Like, I was only like 112 pounds or something like that. I was super, super skinny for my height. So I was malnourished because we couldn't really afford a lot of food. So we didn't really eat a lot. I was, you know, it was a fucking terrible time, and caused me to go into like a deep, dark path about, you know, with some addictions that happened in my life as well. And getting to where we're at now, where it's like I have my dream relationship, as you can see right here in the video. It's kind of loud, but
it's like
it's me spinning my girlfriend around. I went to Seattle to this tulip festival. As you can see in the background, there's all these tulips, like, just went on for miles all the way to the mountains. It's absolutely gorgeous. And, you know, having the confidence that I did today, starting from literally zero, getting bullied, and basically getting bullied and beaten out of me, my confidence, you know, from GoFundMe pages to having extreme confidence. It's like, how does one fucking do that? Right? I get that all the time. How did you do that? How did you start from zero and go all the way up to where you're at now and have this extreme confidence that you do? Right? A nice liquid wealth in my bank account. Best-selling author of this book right here that you guys should be reading, by the way. If you've been watching my channel for a while. I don't know why I have to keep telling you guys this. You guys should all have read that book, who's ever watching my channel. That's just mandatory if you want to really get good at your dating life. Best-selling author, right? Just showed you that book. Able to naturally attract to get my dream girl. That's one of the most important parts of that, about this, is not only having the confidence, but also the competence, which is something I emphasize in my program, is that you got to have the competence to be able to get your dream girl, talk to her, smooth talk her to make her actually want you. And living life on my terms, traveling, giving money away to people now. When we were poor, I give money away now to poor families or abused dogs and animals. I want to start my own, like, I have big dreams. I want to start my own like zoo and dog shelter where it's like we take care of animals that are going extinct and beaten, and really just taking care of those animals, like, you know, and just giving value away, just, you know, basically for free, and helping men really achieve those results, as well as with girls. We have Danny here, one of my many clients who have gotten their dream girl now, and he's Australian, and he started off kind of just like me, very depressed, and joined my program, and we turned that around very, very quickly, because a lot of this stuff is a mindset thing. It is a belief thing. And once we change those beliefs about him, look at his smile. His smile changed. His girl's smile, big as fuck, ear to ear, right? Like, you can't buy that, right? Like, you can't, like, time won't fix that. Like, you have to take action to get that smile. You have to take action and actually work on this stuff to get there. Obviously, it's me and my girlfriend in Cabo, kissing and petting this dolphin right here. His name was Gandalf. We got the alpha male of the pool. How ironic, right? But it's like being able to travel and live life's kind of on my terms. That's where we've gotten. But how did I do that? Like, how did I make these changes? And I wrote kind of some things down that's going to help you guys be able to not only get your dream girl, but just have the life that you want in general. And before, let's talk about the before right here. The before is that I had bad beliefs. I had bad beliefs about getting help. Right? Like, I would study dating advice and study this. I remember like the first YouTube I ever really like pursued was just how to really date my classmates. I was pursuing that varsity soccer girl, and I was like, how do I get her? But I was super self-conscious about it, because I thought this was something that guys just knew how to get, right? Guys just knew how to go for the kiss. Guys just knew how to date the girl. And I felt like I was the weird one that just didn't know how to do that, because I saw everyone around me getting in and out of relationships, and I'm over here just like, I haven't even had my first like kiss yet, and you guys are on like your third and fourth relationship by now. Like, I kind of felt behind, right? And it's like, if you guys feel the same way, like you feel kind of behind and you feel like you're running out of time, you guys should book a call with me in the link in the description below, and let's just get you in the program. Let's stop wasting time. Start working with me literally one-on-one with me and my coaches today. Let's fix this so you're not running out of time. You're way ahead of time. You have your dream girl. You can have a family if you want it. I don't know why you're waiting to work on this stuff if you are. But I had this weird belief that if I got help about dating, that made me less of a man, and it actually just wasn't the case. Like, now I have strong beliefs about that stuff right here, where it's like, if a man has a weakness, like, he works on it, he pursues it, and he fixes it, right? A man that hides from it and doesn't really show it off because he's afraid that other men are going to judge him or whatever, that shows that you're not really a man, because you're still afraid of what other people think about you. And a true man, to me, does not give a fuck what people think about him. And the facts are, 97% of men struggle with dating advice. Like, and most men try to hide it and try to act tough about it, when we all know that after your third divorce, you don't got it, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, get help on that shit, man. Like, get in the program, get the counselor, get whatever you need. But had bad beliefs about people who bullied me, right? I had this built up resentment and hate, just like this dark cloud lurking over me for years, that I was like, you know what? I'm going to seek revenge on all of them for bullying me and outcasting me and putting me last and isolating me. When now my belief about them is they didn't know. They didn't know any better, right? They didn't know that I was going to get this big. They didn't know, like, they just were listening to their family, what their family was telling them about, stay away from me, right? And I probably would have done the same thing, like I said, if I was those parents. Like, I would have been like, I don't want you hanging around those kids because you are who you hang around. You know what I mean? So I get it. And it really helps me it's a direct reflection on who they are, not who I am. And that's what really helped me get over that bullying aspect and that isolation aspect when I was younger. Had bad beliefs about my parents growing up. I was like, why me? Why was I born in a family like this that's so messed up? When now I have the belief that I was born in that family because it taught me so much about relationships, watching my parents go through that divorce and going through multiple divorces and being poor and broke. I learned so much stuff from actually being there in the trenches that I've used to obviously help hundreds of guys like Danny and more, and even myself and just so many more guys in my program get their dream relationship. Right? And especially bad beliefs about myself that most people have, that I've changed the strong beliefs that I wasn't worth it, that people were just going to leave me at the end of the day because I couldn't get the girl I wanted, or girls just didn't like me, or I could never attract quality. I changed my beliefs to mean something different, where I was like, you know what? I'm stronger than I think because I went through all that and I came out on top, which means that I am worth it. Girls should want me because I'm worth it because of that. Right? Before I was bad at natural attraction, obviously. Messaging a girl on Facebook, asking her to be my girlfriend, not very good at natural attracting, right? Versus now, it's like how I attracted my dream girl, my girlfriend. Like, you know, when she came up to me, and getting a girl to approach you is such an art form, right? And she came up to approach me, and the banter was just perfect and the connection was on point. Most guys don't know how to do that, and it's a skill that can be learned. Most guys think that it's a skill or it's a talent that most guys are just born with. No, you can in fact learn that. You just have to understand the language that women speak and be able to naturally connect with them. It's going to naturally make women want to actually be around you and date you and pursue you. Like, when's the last time a hot girl pursued you? And if you're asking yourself that question, you're like, yeah, it's been a minute. Book a call or DM me on Instagram and say you're directly from YouTube. Let's get you in the program. Let's stop wasting time. Right? You have to be really, really good at natural attraction and understanding that women work on emotions, men work on logic. And once you understand how to speak that language, that emotional language, you're never going to struggle with dating again. It's just, you will never struggle with it. Right? I was at the mercy of circumstance versus now life is like a seed. You grow what you plant. What I mean by this is that there's this book, it's called it's called The Way a Man Thinketh. And I love that book. And what they say in the book, one of the things that stuck out to me is that when you plant a seed of corn, that's what they said, when you plant a seed of corn, it's going to grow corn, right? It's not going to grow anything else. And so if you're not getting the results that you want in your dating life or just your life in general, your relationship, it's probably because you're planting bad seeds that are harvesting bad fruit or bad crop, is what that means. So good plants, or good seeds equal good thoughts. What it says, good thoughts equal good results. Bad thoughts, bad results. It was as simple as that. And once I really got that down, I was like, no way. Like, it's so simple. Once you actually figure out how to actually apply that, you're always going to get good results because you always know in your mind what seeds you're planting that are bad seeds, right? And you're like, no, get rid of that. Get rid of the weeds. Let's have only the good seeds so it gets the good fruit in there. I used to let people walk all over me because of my beliefs, right? I didn't believe that was enough. I was bullied, got rejected by my dream girl. I was like, I'm not worth a shit. And I let people walk all over me and tell me that I wasn't shit because I believed that. And once I switched that belief, I was like, you know what? I'm stronger than these people. I'm strong. I deserve my dream girl. I deserve that. I know that I do. I'm confident. I am confident. I'm strong as fuck. I made it through that. I can make it through anything. Once I started changing that belief and using it to my asset, standing up for what I believe is right, people started respecting me. And as the old saying goes, when you are liked by every person, you're liked by none of them, right? Some people are just not going to like you at the end of the day, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, you don't want the people that don't like you. You want to naturally attract the people that are into you, the quality that's into you. And everything else just does not matter. It just does not matter. It's irrelevant. And especially before, desperately trying to find someone on the dating apps. It's just like, why? Like, why are you on the dating apps if you're on the dating apps still? Like, versus naturally meeting them through natural in-person attraction and being able to attract them naturally. Like, I used to be on the dating apps, right, trying to desperately find a girl for a couple months, and I was just like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't even want this. Like, all the girls on here aren't even quality anyways. I'm not going to find a wife on a dating app. You're not going to find your wife on the dating app. Why are you on there? You should literally be in person and learning how to naturally attract this girl in person. That's what matters. And so if you don't know, like if you're still getting ghosted, if you're still getting rejected, and if you're still getting left on scene, and you just don't really know how to actually naturally attract, like I said, book a call using the link in the description below. Like, get off the dating apps, man. I can't fucking stand dating apps. You should be almost tired of dating apps if you're watching this. Book a call in the description below, or just shoot me a message on Instagram. Let's go back and forth. Let's talk about it a little bit. Ask me some questions, whatever. And let's get you in the program. Let's get you rolling. Bring your credit card. We'll hook you up with a call with me one-on-one, get you booked, and then get you scheduled and get you onboarded into the program and get you going, so you don't have to waste your fucking time on dating apps. You don't have to waste your time learning a dumb pickup line. You don't have to waste your time just trying and trying harder and harder to get this girl to like you, when you should just know how to naturally attract her so she comes to you and you're almost doing nothing. You're just hands off because she's coming to you. That's how it should be. And so I'm Selna Kim, America's face of dating, and I will see you guys in the next video.